Hey, it's Christine Gritman here with Social. I do this show every week where I talk to smart friends about different topics relating to social media, small business, digital marketing, all that great stuff. And this is closing out LinkedIn month with like the awesomest guest for LinkedIn month, Goldie Chan. Hey, Goldie, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing amazing. Really excited to be here right now. Honestly, excited to be streaming from my home office
Yes.
because I'm so rarely at home. So what a treat it is for me, honestly, to be here in sunny Los Angeles.
And you're only there for a couple days anyway, because then you'll be down where I am right now in a few
Yep.
days in San Diego for Social Media Marketing World. How many years have you spoken there now?
Gosh, so this is my second year speaking. The first year was amazing. Didn't know what to expect because I've actually never gone to social media marketing world before, but it was such a fun time. It's always so amazing to see the community, see what they're working on, see what everybody's excited about. I'm pretty positive that this year a ton of people will be talking, of course, about TikTok, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's interesting because I always joke, I'm like, oh, I'm too old for TikTok. I'm almost 40. But, I mean, it's not true. And we still need to be aware anyway because it will influence the visual language of video on all the other platforms. Speaking of video on all the other platforms, we're going to be talking about LinkedIn video today. But first, give the folks at home just a little bit of an overview about you. And I love that you have the LinkedIn mug. That makes me so happy. I'm a big branding geek. I'm like, yay, branding. So tell us a little bit about what you do, what your thing is.
Sure. So for 2 years, I created daily consecutive videos on LinkedIn. So that ended up being over 750 videos.
Wow.
Completely created, I would say 99% created and edited by myself.
Hashtag Daily Goldie.
Hashtag Daily Goldie. And so now I've replaced those with more writing as I've kind of shifted my focus. So I still have daily posts going out, but not so much daily videos, at least right now, at this moment in time.
You're still doing plenty of video though. And I love that because not enough people are using video on LinkedIn still, even though it's been around for a few years. But I feel like it just had a big jolt forward. Have you felt that as well? That suddenly
So
it's
I think what maybe you're referring to is LinkedIn Live, which is still in a beta, but more and more people are being added every single day. And a lot of brands are joining in and doing LinkedIn Live in a really interesting way. So I think that that's really changed the temperature on LinkedIn video because before, of course, it was edited videos and not everyone wanted to do edited videos. But with Live, as we're literally doing live right now as we speak,
Yep.
Live reaches a very different audience. And I think truly the best part about Live is being able to engage with your audience. And I think that's so powerful for brands because you can respond to the comments, you can hear back from people directly as you're talking about new features, etc.
Exactly. And I can say hi to Amanda, who's here in San Diego right now from England, where you just were. And Mark is in here. Mark Gawa? I don't know.
Hey, Mark.
So let's back up for a second. So yes, LinkedIn Live has certainly opened up video of all sorts because suddenly more people are creating it on LinkedIn. But we were talking earlier. Oh, Stephanie Lou's here. Hey, Stephanie Lou.
Hey, Stephanie.
She's going to be on in a couple weeks. So we were talking before about how LinkedIn video at all, any video on LinkedIn, is only a few years old. You were in the beta test. So let's talk about how you started doing video on LinkedIn.
Sure. So I'm going to try to give you the abbreviated timeline because if we go into all 750 videos, I feel this podcast will last days.
So people should check them out. Are they still available on replay?
Yeah, so you can still, if you look up Daily Goldie, you can still find some of them. As you know, search on LinkedIn, it can be a little bit tough to find some videos, but you can also find some of them hidden, tucked away on my very secret YouTube channel that I never promote ever. And I tell people not to subscribe and they still do it, so who knows. But back to the LinkedIn journey. So in August of 2017, and I think even in July of 2017, I was in the beta. And in August of 2017, I decided to start creating videos. So I made one became two became 10. And then right around 10, LinkedIn messaged me. And I said this before our call. LinkedIn messaged me and said, what are you doing? These videos are very weird. And I don't think any of the other video creators got a message like this from LinkedIn.
What was so weird about them? Like, what were you doing with those videos?
So the first 50 videos I did, daily consecutive videos I did, were called, what I called walk and talk. So if you ever see the walk and talk sticker, that's because of the videos that I made when I started. So that's where that hashtag comes from. But I literally was walking and talking without a gimbal, without a stabilizer. So you can
little Blair Witch.
How seasick, a little seasick those videos made you watch, but people were still watching them. Quite honestly, I was so surprised because I was really in a cohort of maybe 10 creators. So if you think about it, so small, people trying to just create video at all.
Yeah.
And we were supporting each other. So I was blown away when I had 4 comments. Like, I thought that was the biggest deal. I started out with 2,000 followers from my essential decade of digital marketing I'd done before. I would maybe get like maximum 10 likes on a post that I would do. So getting like 4 comments felt like, wow, like everyone is watching this video, which is so silly when I look at my numbers now, right? Which are vastly different.
You got to start somewhere, you know?
You always have to start. That's why I tell everyone you have to start somewhere. So if you get 4 comments on any kind of content you create on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on wherever, that's amazing. So
that's 4 more than you had.
So I would say, you know, after the 10, I decided this whole time I was taking a month off, a sabbatical between jobs. So I was thinking at the end of 30 days, I was going to become a responsible adult again and get another head of marketing job in-house somewhere. And so 10 days became 20 days, 20 days became 30 days, and then around, I want to say 40 days, right when I was like, okay, time to buckle down and really start looking, Jeff Weiner mentions me in a keynote on here are the top LinkedIn creators.
Hello.
But it's a very big deal.
Can you give some context as to who Jeff Weiner is? For those who may not know.
So Jeff Weiner is the now ex-CEO of LinkedIn. So at the time he was a CEO. Now it's Ryan Roslansky, who's amazing, very creator-friendly. I'm so excited for him to be taking over the reins at LinkedIn.
That's a statement on the direction they're taking the platform.
Yes, and it's very, very exciting to see that. So I'm so glad that that is happening. But Jeff, to be fair, is incredibly forward-thinking. So he was all about the technology and what can we build new onto the platform, and I also deeply appreciate that. So, you know, Jeff Weiner mentions me in a keynote. Suddenly, all of these people who were telling me that I was an absolute idiot for creating content on LinkedIn. For the first 3 months I created videos on LinkedIn, everyone said, do it on YouTube instead. Why are you creating, you know, content on this platform?
And that's a good question.
Right? And I just said, I just enjoy it. You know, there's a beautiful community on here that I'm helping grow, I'm helping shepherd in. And so I just enjoy the act of doing. And I think that, I hope that that passion came through to my audience, that all of the video content that I create, all of the words that I write on the platform is in the spirit of giving, in the spirit of creating a community. So that brings us up to 30 out of 750 videos.
Wow.
So we get to about video 80. It's Halloween. I've already uploaded my daily video. I'm sick. I don't want to get on the platform. You know, I've already commented. I've liked everything. I suddenly get all these texts from people, and they're like, you need to get on LinkedIn right now, right now. And I'm like, why do I need to get on LinkedIn right now?
Intriguing.
And they're just like, log on, you'll see. And so I noticed all of these notifications where I've been tagged in one post, not my post. And it was Peter Gorful, who's the head of video product at LinkedIn. He had dressed up as me for Halloween. He had bought a wig, he made a paper frame, right, of the LinkedIn video thing. And then he basically said, you know, thank you to Goldie Chan and all the other video creators. So I got the solo shout out.
Wow.
In a post by the head of video who I'd never met before. So this was not, we knew each other and he was shouting me out as a friend. I literally did not know this man.
He was fangirling you.
Obviously. But yes, it was such a big deal, right?
You had an adult male fangirl that's in a position of power.
In a position of power, and it was so fun. So it was really lovely to see my community come out and be really excited about that. And then, of course, we get to video 90, video 100. You have to understand, I've never created daily videos before in my life. And up to this point, 90 days of consecutive daily video, never skipping a single day. Around 90 to 100, I was in New York for business anyways. And I met the video team. Yeah, I love New York. I met the video team in New York because the video team is based out of the LinkedIn New York office, and had such an amazing chat with them. And it's funny, I started making GIFs. So I got a dedicated GIF page. I had Tenor GIF, who's now owned by Google, reach out to me and ask if they could make GIFs for me. And I said, wonderful, sure. Thank you. And so I released a series of GIFs from my videos. So most of my GIFs, if you ever see my GIFs on the internet, they're actually usually not independently created. They're pulled directly from videos.
They're in the moment.
Yeah, they're moments where I'm saying things, usually talking about business or marketing or branding. But it was funny because I had all these like hilarious GIFs from the LinkedIn office. And so if you searched at the time for LinkedIn in that GIF function, you got basically only me. So you got only me, just a bunch of green-haired GIFs about LinkedIn. And I think within a month, there was over 2 million views on all of those GIFs. So
wow. You know, I'm a big believer in the power of GIFs. I love GIFs. I'm surprised they didn't ask you to change your hair to LinkedIn blue.
I know. Well,
sponsored
I think,
hair.
Like I said, they were already like, this is not. We expected people just to do whiteboard videos, and so the fact that I was walking around and talking, the first videos I did were on pop culture, branding, and metrics.
I was going to say, what were you talking about?
Yes, I was talking about the numbers and the branding behind phenomenons like Harry Potter or trains in the United States, right? So I was doing a lot of historical context. I was explaining things. I was doing an explainer show.
Why?
And I think
how did you decide
really
for that to be your content?
I personally love pop culture. I love the history behind things. So it was so fun to be able to do that in the context of this show that didn't matter. Let's be honest. So when I started in August of 2017, none of this mattered because everyone thought I was crazy. I also was just like, I'm going to get a job, so absolutely none of this matters. I'll just, if the next job I have doesn't like it, I'll just tell people like it was just for fun and I was sandboxing. So we're 100 days later. I still don't have a job. Still not getting paid. What's funny is I made a fake agency essentially, just to show that I was gainfully employed. During that time that I wasn't really looking for a job.
I'm not unemployed. I'm an agency.
I'm the agency. And my fake agency started getting real clients. So now, of course, I have a real agency, completely different entity. But yeah, my fake agency got real clients. So I was starting to do consulting. I started to get quite a lot of business. And then when the 1 year, we're going to fast forward past all of these videos, so many videos, I started traveling internationally, started speaking internationally. About a year in, Forbes actually took me aside and they were like, hey, we'd love you to write a column on personal branding and storytelling in the digital age. And I was like, that's amazing. Normally you pitch Forbes and Forbes says yes or no. And so it truly was amazing that they reached out to me and I'm very grateful for it. And then also, I would say about a year in, maybe like 100, 150 days in, what I was doing differently than other people is that I was partnering with major brands.
Ooh, so how did that come about?
Yeah, so about I would say video maybe 120 or so. One of the things I love is brand stories. So I had quite a few big brands reach out to me, and there's brands that I just personally absolutely love. Like right now I'm an ambassador for Adobe, one of the brands that's my absolute literal favorite brand in the world.
Yeah, I've heard of them, I think.
Yeah, so I'm such a fan of them, and so I actually had worked, but my first partnership was with WeWork. So for a year, I was a global brand ambassador for WeWork, and we were creating content together. Because I was touring the world, I could go to different WeWork offices all over the world and host meetups, and it was such an amazing partnership that we had that worked out honestly super well for me because I could always host these wonderful meetups for my audience. It wherever I was going.
Did they approach you or did you approach them?
They approached me.
Wow. That seems to be a recurring theme. I mean, you just like put yourself out there, did your thing, and let the value emerge.
And I think, Christine, you completely understand this, right? I think it is so, so important that you, first of all, you put yourself out there. Because I see people try to put the cart before the horse, so to speak, and they try to get these big brand deals. They try to lock down things before they've even proven that they can create the content, before they've proven that they can build an audience. So there needs to be, I think, some level of investment that you have to do first to prove that you can go to the next level, right? And then I think these brands come in and they see you at this cusp of becoming something bigger, and then they want to partner with you, which is absolutely amazing. Like one of the things I'm wearing right now is NASA. I went to a NASA social, and I did the first ever LinkedIn live from a NASA, like at a NASA launch, essentially.
They got to get you doing a live stream from the space station. I mean, that's the clear next step, right?
Yes. So, I mean, it was LinkedIn Live at the time. I was like probably one of maybe like 50 people, maybe 40 people who were in LinkedIn Live at the time. So all I want to do is push the envelope and keep breaking things, right? Because I definitely broke my stream halfway through doing that. But I feel like my audience is which I feel very lucky about. My audience is very forgiving for me doing experimental things that break the stream. So I'm just always excited to get out there, do something that no one's ever seen before. Not because, quite honestly, I care about virality. I actually really don't. I just like to play with new things. And I like to give people what they've never seen before. And of course, what they never thought was possible with a product like LinkedIn Live, right? So.
Well, I feel like that makes sense because if you go at it from a sense of, oh, I'm going to go viral, I mean, that doesn't work, right? It's like calling yourself an influencer. If you call yourself an influencer, you may not be one. Like other people need to. And to that point, so we talked about how you started getting into brand deals, you started working with WeWork, you started working with Adobe. How did your content change once it sort of developed that focus, or did it? Because before you were just walking and talking about whatever you wanted.
Like I said, right. So around after 50 videos, and this was before I even got any big brand deals or anything, I realized that I didn't want to do this one format because that's so limiting to do just one style of video.
I just walk and talk and talk about pop culture.
Yeah, just walk and talk. And I thought this was my gimmick. This was my shtick. So I have to stay with it. And then I realized that's not true. People are going to watch my videos, hopefully because it's me creating them, right? And that's what you always want, is that your audience is going to watch you even if you stylistically change. So I decided and also you have to understand the stakes are so low to me still at video 50. I mean, it was when Jeff Weiner mentioned me, but at the same time, I just thought that's a cool thing as opposed to that's a life-changing thing. So I'm just like, great, I will go ahead and I will just, keep making videos the way I want, but try to change it up a little bit. And it was very interesting to have a stylistic change because I think after that, the floodgates opened. And so when I was doing videos with brands, really they were letting me, I still feel very lucky. Most brands let me pretty much dictate what I want to do. If I partner with them, there's a lot of creative freedom. But I also have worked in-house doing digital marketing for so long that to me, I'm very thoughtful about what it is a brand needs. So I'm not trying to do really self-serving things. I want to make that brand look amazing. And I think that's why brands keep coming back to work with me, because they know that I will never make them look bad.
I love that they have that trust. They realize that they hired you for you.
Yes.
You're not just a warm robot.
I think that's what everybody wants, right? In life and love and friendship.
Yeah, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, all those fun things. So I want to fast forward to the present day. So or at least more recent. So you had your not live videos. You had your daily videos for hundreds and hundreds of days, 2 years. What are you up to with video more recently? What does your video creation strategy kind of look like? And what have you been doing with it? And you've also been working with LinkedIn, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's so funny. I've taken a bit of a break, a mental health break. So I think for all of my audience who's noticed, since August of last year, so exactly 2 years, so August of 2017 to August of 2019, I made a commitment to do, honestly, I made a commitment to do 1 year, and then I passed right by 1 year, and then I was like, okay, 500 videos, and then 500 videos became 2 years. But we stopped at we stopped officially at 2 years. So since August, I have been honestly doing a lot of rest and recovery. It's so important when you're creating that much video content to take some time off to recover and to really think about what are your next steps. I mean, not very sexy or cool are groundbreaking. But I think that my audience expects a lot out of me, and I don't like to give people crap, excuse my French. So, I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing next, whatever content I'm releasing next is thoughtful, is new, is something that other people can look at and be hopefully thinking like, okay, but now I want to top Goldie. Because all I want in life is for people to see my content and then do better than me, right? Like that's all I want. I just want my content to be a seed of an idea that encourages other people to really do their own tailored, interesting content. Because as you know, a lot of people say I'm number one at the time I was number one on the LinkedIn platform. And I always said, I want somebody else to be number one because I have no interest in being number one on a platform. I only have an interest of creating new stuff that really inspires people and gets them thinking about what they can be creating.
And that betrays an incredible, not only generosity, but also confidence. The fact that you have the confidence in the stability of your brand and of what you've accomplished to be able to, first of all, take a step back and say, you know what? I'm going to reassess here. I'm not going to worry about, oh no, I won't be the flavor of the month. No. You realize, and I also, you said it's not, you're not focusing on being groundbreaking. I would argue that prioritizing mental health and boundaries and your own energy is pretty groundbreaking, and I think that's a huge thing. So you mentioned that you want to inspire other people. We have just a few more minutes, but I wanted to find out from you what that means to you. First of all, what you think really caught on, like why you caught fire, what was so special about what you were doing that made it catch on, and what you'd like to see going forward in terms of video creation on the platform.
It's so funny because everyone asked me, what was the secret sauce? Like, how did you engineer becoming top of the platform?
You didn't engineer it. That's pretty key.
And I think yeah, exactly. I think everything I've said here hopefully shows everyone that I didn't engineer it. What I did was I chased ideas I found interesting. I chased video I found interesting. I taught myself how to edit. So it's so funny because I'm in the Producers Guild. But let me tell you, producers don't need to know how to edit. Producers don't need to know how to shoot. So I taught myself ground up how to shoot, how to edit, how to do all that stuff. And I think that's part of the magic, right? People were watching me become better because I started out, once again, with those kind of shaky, sickening videos, vlog type videos, and people were still watching them, but they slowly got better because I got better. I leveled up my skills. I slowly learned how to actually edit video. Have better equipment, etc. And I think that's really attractive to people.
I'd argue scrappiness feels intimate. I mean, I love scrappy content. So what do you see going forward on the platform in terms of how video on LinkedIn or video in general on the internet is changing going forward? What do you want to see people doing? Or what do you think people will be doing?
I mean, I think LinkedIn video is at such a fascinating inflection point because you're getting so many more people jumping on, which of course makes me so, so happy. Like that's all I wanted is people to actually use this product and try doing it in their own voice. So you're seeing a lot more different voices now. It's really hilarious to me that at video 10, LinkedIn told me that vlogs was not something they expected people to do and that I was doing it. And now people assume that a vlog is exactly the style of video that you should be creating on LinkedIn. So really funny to see, the aftermath of like something you did 2 years later, 2.5 years later.
Ahead of the curve.
A little bit ahead of the curve. But I also think it would be really, really interesting to see people do more, like I said, more creative formats on LinkedIn. I know that LinkedIn has been testing out, of course, LinkedIn stories. They've been testing it out in small audiences. And I've known about this for a year and a half already.
I haven't even seen them yet.
Yeah, so I can say this now, they just formally announced them. But before, they've been sandboxing them in very specific types of groups of people. For example, real estate agents, for example, students. And so they've been seeing how stories work in like very specific tribes of people. So to me, that's definitely something that'll be interesting that people will be talking about. I think in the next month or so, especially around LinkedIn video, once those get released in a proper beta to a larger audience, or if they get released without a beta, just to everyone, because they've already been working on it for quite a while now, actually.
Awesome. And now one thing that I want to make sure that we get to in our last couple of minutes, you mentioned, so I mentioned that you've gone from 10 videos in LinkedIn saying, what are you doing? We didn't intend for the product to be used this way, to now you've actually done a LinkedIn training with LinkedIn. Can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Sure. So if you literally just Google, because I'm so terrible about affiliate links, if you just Google LinkedIn Learning, Goldie Chan, you can find my series of courses that I've done. I've done one on LinkedIn video, which hilariously, the LinkedIn Learning group tried to make as close to my vlog videos as possible. So I feel very lucky in that they gave me an entirely new format for my training session. So it feels a little bit different than other LinkedIn Learning courses because they were just having a field day with me.
Yeah, very non-sterile. It's not like on a set. You're not like, it's very in the moment.
I think maybe they cut this out, but part of it, we actually shot with me in the back of a Tesla that was self-driving. So that's how experimental we were being with the course, because they knew I was kind of game for anything.
And that's a lot of trust.
Yeah, it's a lot of trust. So it was very fun. But I also have courses on building online communities, on your personal brand. But especially if your company buys a LinkedIn Learning subscription, please watch them all. You can get a very cool certificate at the end of it. So if you take any LinkedIn Learning courses, not just mine, you get a very official looking certificate that's signed by the VP of Learning, Tanya Staples at LinkedIn. And also you can add it as a skill on your LinkedIn profile. So I've seen people do this. So this is an amazing way where if you get a subscription, take as many courses as you can, right? Take mine, of course, but take everyone else's. There's actually, I think, a few social media marketing world speakers who also have really lovely courses.
My friend Michaela Alexis has one on LinkedIn Pages, because who knows how to use company pages? Michaela does.
Yes. And so please consume all of these courses. And once again, you'll get, because I know we all like to get our little rewards and badges, but you'll get a hilarious, like you can print this out certificate that says you completed this course. So
it should come with a gif of you being like, woohoo!
I know, it should. But I actually really think this certificate is incredibly nerdy. So LinkedIn. But once again, very, very fun. Please go take those courses, check it out, learn about LinkedIn video, learn about all these, once again, amazing things. I think Roberto Blake, who I forget, I think he is speaking this year again.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah, he has his video course out as well. So there's so many amazing speakers that you can take courses from on LinkedIn Learning.
I love that so much. All right, well, we're wrapping up now. I want to be mindful of our time, but let people know, Goldie, where can people find you and what would you like them to check out?
Sure. So you can always find me, obviously, on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Goldie, just my first name. And then on Twitter for my emo ramblings, Goldie Chan, CHAN. And my Instagram at Goldie Cylon, CYLON, because I'm a huge Battlestar Galactica nerd.
Geek girls are the best. Yeah, geek girls.
They are. So feel free. Those are kind of the places I post, honestly, the most. Feel free to follow me on any of those things. If you want to check out my incredibly deserted island YouTube channel that I never update. It is also Goldie Cylon. But once again, as I've told everyone, don't subscribe. So don't subscribe to me.
Don't subscribe. Reverse psychology.
But if you need me to subscribe to your channel, I am more than happy to.
I
So
do.
I'm happy to give everyone a sub. You literally just need to tweet me and be like, can you sub to my YouTube channel? And as long as it's not like violent or scary, I absolutely will subscribe to your YouTube channel. I'm happy to give you a sub.
Will you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Goldie?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Send me the link to it. This is what I'm using my YouTube channel for, is literally nothing but subscribing to other people's YouTube channels.
Well, that is a lovely thing to do, so thank you in advance. And thank you so much for your time today. I know that you are very busy right now, and so this has been fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to seeing you at the San Diego Convention Center very soon. And yeah, thanks. So again, for everyone watching, I'm Christine Gritman. I do this show every single week where we talk to smart friends about given topics. Next month, March, is live streaming month, appropriately enough, and my 100th episode of Social is also taking place in March, which I didn't even realize when I declared March live streaming month. So that's kind of serendipitous. So next week, I'm going to actually have Chris Strub, a return guest. And then after that, I'm having Stephanie Liu, who's a return guest. And my 100th show. And then I'm having Brian Fanzo and Jen Watson together. So that's going to be an awesome show, too. And this is also released as a podcast on Mondays. So that's another way to check it out. Thanks so much. And I will hopefully see everyone next week. Bye.